Upper and Lower Egypt, also referred to as the Two Lands, is a name used for ancient Egypt. The concept appears in titles of Egyptian kings and queens and appears in scenes in temples and tombs. The concept also refers to an innate sense of duality in the ancient Egyptian culture. The Egyptian expression Semitawi is usually translated as the uniter of the two lands, and was depicted as a human trachea entwined with the papyrus and lily plant. The trachea stood for unification, while the papyrus and lily plant represent Upper and Lower Egypt. Standard titles of a king of Egypt was King of Upper and Lower Egypt and Lord of the Two Lands. Similarly, a queen might use titles such as Lady of the Two Lands, Mistress of the entire Two Lands, and Mistress of the Two Lands. Unification. Ancient Egypt was divided into two regions, namely Upper Egypt and Lower Egypt. To the north was Lower Egypt, where the Nile stretched out with its several branches to form the Nile Delta. To the south was Upper Egypt, stretching to Syene. The terminology, upper and lower, derives from the flow of the Nile from the highlands of East Africa northwards to the Mediterranean Sea. The opposite of a north-to-south flowing river like the Mississippi, so Upper Egypt lies to the south of Lower Egypt. Lower Egypt mostly consists of the Nile Delta. The two kingdoms of Upper and Lower Egypt were united c. 3000 BC, but each maintained its own regalia, the Hedjet or white crown for Upper Egypt and the Deshret or red crown for Lower Egypt. Thus, the pharaohs were known as the rulers of the two lands, and wore the skent, a double crown, each half representing sovereignty of one of the kingdoms. Ancient Egyptian tradition credited Menes, now believed to be the same as Nahmeth, as the king who united Upper and Lower Egypt. On the Nama palette, the king is depicted wearing the red crown in one scene and the white crown in another, and thereby showing his rule over both lands. The invention of the skent is generally attributed to the first dynasty pharaoh Menes, but the first one to wear a double crown was first dynasty pharaoh Djet. A rock inscription shows his Horus wearing it. Semitawi and Symbolism. The union of Upper and Lower Egypt is depicted by knotted papyrus and reed plants. The binding motif represents both harmony through linkage and domination through containment. The duality is an important part of royal iconography. Sometimes the duality is further extended by having the knotted plants extend and bind foreign foes as well. During the First Dynasty, dualistic royal titles emerge, including the King of Upper and Lower Egypt title, which combines the plant representing Upper Egypt and a bee representing Lower Egypt. The other dualistic title is the Two Ladies name or Nebtai name. The Two Ladies is Nekbet, the vulture goddess associated with Hierakonpolis in Upper Egypt, and Wajet, the cobra goddess associated with Buto in Lower Egypt. There are many depictions of the ritual unifications of the two lands. It is not known if this was perhaps a rite that would have been enacted at the beginning of a reign, or merely a symbolic representation. Many of the depictions of the unification show two gods binding the plants. Often the gods are Horus and Set, or on occasion Horus and Thoth. This matches a scene from the temple at Abyssimbel from the time of Ramesses II. There are only a handful of scenes that show the king himself performing the ritual. All of these are from bark stands and date to the reigns of Amenhotep III, Seti I and Ramesses III. The latter two may be copies of the first one. The river gods happy uniting Upper and Lower Egypt. Colossi of Memnon. Reign of Amenhotep III. Temple scene at Luxor, Thebes. Alabaster jar depicting the Semitawi symbol with happy. From the tomb of Tutankhamun. Ramesses III at the Temple of Khonsu. A rare scene showing the king performing the ritual. Semitawi on the side of the throne of Khafren.